Welcome to For Love and Play. I'm matchmaker comic Yael. With me is comedians Kenan and Louie B. For Love and Play, the show about dating like a goddamn adult. We're going to discuss who to spend your time with for love or for play. Let's do it, boys.
This show contains adult content for entertainment purposes. Listener discretion is advised.
Not a doctor.
I knew this was going to be a crazy episode, and it even got crazier because the unexpected happened. We had already planned to talk about expectations in relationships, just in general, the expectations, what you can expect after meeting, what you can expect while dating, and what you can expect while in a relationship. But I'm joined here again with my favorite people in the world. Louie, what up, man?
Mahalo.
And Yael, what's going on, girl?
What's up, homie? We got a story tonight. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I think we should just let you jump in from what you told us before we started recording.
Lord, okay. My longest running joke, it's like, okay, the shoemaker doesn't have shoes and the matchmaker doesn't have a boyfriend. People don't believe me when I don't know why, I'm single. Like, I haven't, like, dated anyone seriously in a minute. They don't believe me when I tell them boys for no fucking reason don't like me. Straight up, they just don't like me. The most hilarious thing I have ever seen in my almost 31 years of life has happened to me via Tinder today. So Wednesday, this guy for the name of, I don't know, lawsuits, we're just going to call him Joe. Joe and I swiped right. Now, I thought Joe was cute, age appropriate, 27, I'm 30, career, he says he's a resident as a plastic surgeon. So I thought, okay, seems to be my vibe of dude, let's swipe right. So homeboy sends me around midnight last night a text on Tinder looking for an NJB, and a nice Jewish boy? Yes, I am. Okay, good. You appear to be a nice Jewish boy. Now, in the Tinder profile, he says he has an accent. So I said, which faraway land are you from? Yep, I am. But you're not my style. I'll support you and come watch your show. You're too old for me.
I will punch him in the balls.
What age is he? 27?
He's 27. He's 27, God bless him. He's 27 years old.
I mean, you gotta respect his gangster. I mean, that's really gangster, and God bless him.
Yes, I'm serious. I thought that was like, no, but okay, maybe you guys disagree. A guy that is like fucking make something up. You know what I mean? Like, not even like that's just. I mean, it's disgusting, and I don't really. Like, why did you swipe right? It's almost as if you didn't even want to have sex with me. You just wanted to insult me. I don't really get.
He's really acting like the Ralph Nader of Tinder.
Yeah, I mean that was pretty much an unnecessary move.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to be the first comic to fill her audience full of Tinder people from a bringer show, like that'll be.
Oh, that should be weird. That would be awesome.
You think? I mean, that would be an amazing show to see. Just all your Tinder dates sitting out there while you're on stage.
All my
talking
victims,
about them.
apparently. Exactly.
I mean,
the boys that don't like me.
You can probably pull it off if you post that picture of you in just a bra.
Well, I post those anyway, but
well, on Tinder, so that way you get all these guys, and then you
first. Are you kidding me?
You catfish them.
Seriously.
I'll be security.
No, I said seriously. Where do you think the bra pics are posted first? Tinder or Facebook? Are you insane? What doesn't go over well on Tinder doesn't make it over to Facebook.
Oh.
Tinder is the
touche.
Tinder is what I do to, like, at this point, figure people out.
Oh,
this guy appears to be the type, in my opinion, of setting people up for now almost 12 years when we all sat down and did the fucking math. I mean, he's an arrogant asshole. He's a decent looking guy and he makes money. You know why? 'Cause he's an asshole.
I honestly think you deserve it, because I tell you, I hate when women are on Tinder for the outside of the purpose of Tinder.
Yeah.
If you're not looking for the hookup, go somewhere else.
Amen.
I just hate it. I hate it.
He's even over here trying to fuck me. He's basically telling me you're too old and I think you're a funny old lady. What the shit?
Yeah.
maybe he's saying that you're too old for Tinder.
Seriously.
He's just letting you know.
You are now the new Joan Rivers.
I mean, I wish that bitch would haunt my house. I really do. I love Joan. We love you, Joan. So
we love you too, bitch. Oh, that's my
why, right? He goes, 'cause you're Jew and you seem funny.
You're Jew.
That's what he said.
You're one of the tribe. You're You're part of the posse,
If
yo.
I'm acceptable to plant seed, should I be young enough to bear fruit?
Holy
Little
shit.
does this asshole know, I bear multiples. But anyway,
I feel like I should pull you back because now you're getting all up in your feelings. But it was a perfect story to lead into exactly what we had planned already to talk in today. We had this whole show planned out about expectations. So let's talk about just your expectations after swiping right now. What do the people out there really should expect when two people actually matched on Tinder? Or let's start with Tinder first, just online or on Tinder.
I mean, I guess it really depends on how, again, like going back to what is Tinder for? Why do people use it? Tinder has been turned into what it was not, its non-original purpose.
Right, but that's because women got a hold of it. So let's just say online and on Tinder.
They allowed us to use it.
Yeah, y'all ruin everything, and I don't know how to stop it. I'm trying to figure it out. Part of the podcast is what I hope
Why
to.
don't you just your bio, like in bold type, I just want to fuck you. Like, you're a good-looking man. You'll be amazed how many yes you get.
Okay, so these expectations start with the profiles. How about that? Yes. How about setting expectations within your profile? Whether it's Tinder or OkCupid or just in general, any matchmaking site, you got to set your expectations up front in your profile. That should be a good blueprint for everybody to follow, right?
Like, if you're looking for a boyfriend, ladies, Christ almighty, tell these dudes I'm looking for a boyfriend.
And don't do it on Tinder.
Wait, you know what? But that's shutting a door. Like, I'm sorry. I know people who've made business connections from Tinder, marriages from Tinder. It's another channel to network and meet people. I have actually been offered jobs through brokerages. I turned them down, but I'm saying I've been offered jobs through brokers that I met on Tinder. So, like, Tinder is not what you two wish.
I get it, because I wish I could get a job from Tinder too. Like, Jews know how to make money out of everything. This is an amazing experience.
I mean, look, don't get me wrong. When I'm on Tinder, I'm trying to get a job too.
You got a job on OkCupid. Boom, boom,
Not the wet kind.
No, not the kind you were looking for.
Yeah, well.
No, that's for sure. But I think people need to, especially being above 30, like, why can't you have a real relationship above 30? Like, I understand 18 to 28, let's say you want to fuck everyone in the world. I get it. You want to have sex with lots of people. Okay. At what point, like, is that just not cute and it's just sad? We all see the 40-year-old men that are macking on the 25-year-olds, and the only ones that are macking back are like daddy issues up the ass, and they want money most of the time when there's an age gap that size. There's very little success and longevity there, so like it's usually as a means to an end for a young woman in a situation of duress, of financial duress of some sort.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you can play for as long as you can get it up. Once that starts, then you should start looking for a relationship when you're a guy.
I don't know, man. I kind of think that's kind of bullshit because at the same time, it's like if a woman, sows her wild oats and she's been ran through, guys find that unattractive. Why on the other side, if a dude's all ran through himself, okay, yeah, now it's time for me to want a pristine relationship. That's kind of like, no, dude.
Well, because I don't know what you do in your bedroom, but the ran through physically doesn't happen to the guy.
Please rise for the Brooklyn National Anthem.
That's part of it.
Yeah, see, that's a guy that caught a heart attack because he's been ran through and he caught a heart attack. God bless sir.
I hope he finds the one
at
this point in his life now.
Yeah.
So,
I really hope that the young doctor finds a nice young, lady
who's gonna take him from everything he's worth after she.
I really do. I hope that. Can I tell you guys the Tinder message that I responded, because I thought this was so repugnant. I had to retaliate. It wasn't even for the sake of art and comedy. I had to retaliate because I thought to myself, someone needs to tell this gentleman he's a douchebag. Mm-hmm. Because if he does crap to me, you better believe he does it to everyone.
Oh yeah.
So I put, you better be one damn good plastic surgeon, because the only reason any woman would tolerate you is basically because of money. Sweetie, you're not cute enough to be such an asshole, and gosh darn it, if you were older, you would research a person before you shit talk them. I hope your career is filled with breast implant botches, one malpractice case after another, and may every woman you sleep with from here on out call you repeatedly to tell you she thinks thinks she's pregnant. Your friend, comedian, matchmaker, developer, Yael Meisels.
You know, wow, you really just put
I like
like
the
a
sign off.
you just put like a Jewish curse
Hold
on
on.
him.
P.S. Oh, I totally did. P.S.
A hexpa.
Yeah.
I thought I was funny, and it turns out I'm fucking hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing else to say to a person. Like, if someone is that gross,
You should have
that
said something
quick-
about locust. Sorry.
screw it.
Sorry.
Release
Alright.
the look.
Like, may locusts fly out your urethra. Something like that.
Sorry.
I feel like being a douche works for this guy, and 9 times out of 10, he's successful. He just happened to reach a fiery, very attractive older woman.
Oh,
To
Older
him.
woman.
oh, the woman.
Older young woman, young to me, older to him, and it bit him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what to make of that because, like, you have your age posted. You know what I'm saying? Like,
What are you doing?
it's not like he thought I was 24 and then surprise. Like,
You know what I think he was doing? He was negging.
what do you mean?
Do you guys know what negging is?
No, that's why she asked.
Okay,
what you
this is a common tool for pickup artists where they try to they do like backhanded compliments, so that way it makes a woman who is insecure like start doubting herself, and then try to turn around and win his approval by like
Nice.
no, I'm
But
not.
see,
Mhm.
that's
Oh
exactly
my God.
that's exactly what I was saying. He must have seen some level of success with the douchery.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, this
Yeah.
is what was taught, like, because I years ago bought a book called The Mystery Method because I'm Captain Strikeout. But, so in the book is part of, they talk about negging, which you go up to a woman and you say, oh, I don't think, you're very pretty, even though you have, like, a lot of junk in your trunk. It doesn't bother me.
I find it funny with all this, the pickup artists and the terms that you guys, or from the books that you've read,
Yeah.
they have like these terms that I remember. I had a coworker that was doing the same thing. He was getting all these books from the pickup artists, and then we would go to happy hours, and he would always have these terms, and he said like, Kenan, you need to come with me. You're a natural, and I'm like, what the hell is a natural? And he's just always explaining these crazy things and plans and logics. When you're approaching women, there's no game plan. You need to have whatever your inner belief system is, and then see the field like a new play every time you approach a different woman. It's just like a quarterback. They don't make the same pass to every receiver. It's not the same route every play. You can't run the same route because different defenses are showing you different things.
All right.
I don't get that
I don't
stuff.
know.
I feel like I have a perfect guest for a future show for us to talk about that. But let's jump back into the more expectations. So you meet a person, you exchange numbers, you swipe right. What can you expect after just like the first meeting? Is there a rule like after 3 days of meeting? Does that rule still exist before you call a person? Do people even still call people? Is it all text messages?
No. Can I tell you something? Okay, one thing that I've noticed in doing this, in matchmaking, in my own dating life, in my friends' dating lives, and so on and so forth. If a dude likes a girl, and I don't mean to always cater so much to like straight relationships, it's just those are the ones I deal with the most. But if you like a girl, you're not sitting on it. She knows. I'm saying, you know what I mean? You do something, whether it's a text message, you make immediate contact. If you sleep with a guy after the first date and he likes you, believe me, do nothing. If he wants to see you again, I'm saying whether you were, intimate or not, this guy will make contact within 24 to 72 hours. If you don't hear from him beyond 3 days, I would delete the number and write it off as a lesson or an experience, not even necessarily a mistake. You know what I mean? But I think
so.
that, like,
Louis, do you normally wait 3?
Well, okay, this is
As a guy, do you wait 3?
In my experience, if it's a girl that I like, I'm more of a, let's get this popping. I mean, if we both like each other, we both had a good, let's get this popping. What's this 3-date rule? That seems kind of silly to me.
Right. If you like her, you move.
But unfortunate, yeah. If I like her, I because in my infinite insecurities, I'm so worried about there's someone else. There's always someone else. You gotta get in while the getting's good before someone swoops in, gets her. So, I'm so, so I call, and what usually happens to me is they don't pick up, they don't text. Yeah, they don't, they say they like you and all, and it's like, okay, they don't call back because I don't and stop me if it's not flowing, Kenan, but that whole thing where it's like, oh, he's too desperate, I don't want to talk.
Right. That I think that's where the rule came out of, is guys didn't want to seem too desperate, and then some women were feeling like the guy was acting desperate. I'll tell you a trick for my personal game book. Now what I do is I never really get the female's number. I never leave that up, so I don't have those missed calls or blah 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 blah. Anytime I meet a woman, I give them my number. I have a separate number because I will never text the first girl that I meet. I feel like giving my own number with the text message availability is too much availability. You can't get that right up front. So what I do is I give them my number. I have a side chick Google Voice number. Shout out to Google technology.
Yeah, that's the number you give me.
I give them that number and I tell them to call me at a specific time. That's all I do. It's like, oh, it was really cool meeting you. I would like to get together, but let's chat a little bit beforehand. Give me a call. I'm free at 8 o'clock. I got a show at 9, so I can talk to you while I'm outside waiting. Like, I just do it like that. Quick 15-minute call. We move forward.
So, okay.
Yael, you were saying something about that?
Wow. So you kind of like have this very regimented. I mean, if you and I've discussed this many times, like, you don't want to overspend on a first date, which I totally agree. You don't know if you're ever going to see this person again. You'll allocate, this amount of time to schedule a first date, go on it, and then kind of like decide, like, when do you decide if you want to see that person again? Like, what do you ever get excited? Like, is there ever that, like, oh, like, now, like, you never get, like, have you ever met a girl that excited you that you couldn't wait to go on the first date?
Oh yeah, definitely. It happens rarely, but it happened recently, actually, just last month. Very excited on the new female that I met, and it just, like I said, each interaction is different. Sometimes you gotta put that hurry up offense because the defense is giving you prevent. Like, you always gotta be able to change your actual play, but the game plan is always that same book that you learn all your plays from. So if it's a girl that I'm very excited about, then it's still the same thing. I still say, let's meet here, let's do this, but it might be a little accelerated. We might, instead of a week being apart, maybe we'll go to 2 dates a week.
Gotcha. So you kind of very much stick to pattern. You kind of you stick to the formula, but you'll modify it here and there. Whereas with women, when we're a little bit distant and being smart about it, there are times that could be one of those where you're trying to make the rational decision. Like, I am going to date like an adult. I'm going to not do this and not do that. You know what I mean? And then you meet somebody, boom, smoking hot. You know what I mean? There's bells and whistles.
Yeah, I mean,
the shit goes out
that's
the window.
What it is.
You know what I mean?
Because that's exactly, you're right. Everybody has their standards until the hot one walks in the door and shatters all your standards. Right. Like, that's what everybody has. So I never bring in a past experience to a new female because I got to play this as a brand new Sunday. It's a whole new game. And I really hate when women try to rationalize, specifically when they're putting me in the scenario. When I'm dating a female and she wants to, have her quote unquote rules. I don't want to do this because I don't want you to think this of me, and etc. We all know what people go through for the thoughts of others. I hate when they do that because I'm like, I'm a new person, and that doesn't mean I'm going to react the same way that last dude.
Well, when a girl asks right away, damn straight she likes you, she definitely wants to see you again most of the time. And I've had many guys in working with people and just being alive that have said to me that a guy feels like, if you're going to do this for me, you're going to do this for everybody. Therefore, I am not special. You are desperate. You know what? That is something I still hear going on in dating, even in 2015. Like, why don't you want to see me again? One of my longest running jokes is I would never fuck on the first date. There's no way to verify whether or not this guy has any money. Jesus Christ. I'm going to figure that out in one sitting. Are you kidding me?
I feel
No
like
way.
you'd be an eye hawk on that. You can't tell from the first sitting?
Yeah, right. Like if he's taking you to McDonald's
Oh.
instead of Dallas BBQs, I mean, come on.
No, I'm just saying, like,
You can't fake really balling out of control for a very long time.
No.
You can
Okay,
do it like
yeah.
and you got paid, and then if that's done, then you're done. But I do it reverse. My whole approach to dating is really to show you my worst foot first, and then I get better from there. Like that's when I grow. I don't do the representative.
no, you really don't. And if anything, your representative is more like your attorney. You know what I mean? Like, rather than you're like, who is that guy? I'm thinking of Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
Yours is more like your legal representative. Like, okay, lady, this is how this shit's gonna go down. All right, boom, we're gonna do this. Segue into this. I am not spending above $20 in the first meeting.
Mm-hmm.
I protect women, protect their pussy.
better.
I protect my time and my money. That's what I protect my time and my money. It's the same thing.
It kind of reminds me of a joke that I've said on stage. Like, why is it wrong for me to expect a woman to open her legs on the first date, but not wrong for her to expect me to open my wallet on the first date?
Right.
Because
It's all
because there's dating etiquette. Like,
So
If
what
you
is the proper
pay-
dating etiquette?
There you go.
okay, I've had like the most unlikely candidates, like women that you would peg on the street and just be like, oh no way, she would give a shit about these things. Say to me, I've had the most punk rock, hipster, rockin' out of control, blue mohawk girls say to me, when a guy doesn't pay, she doesn't feel special. Straight out. Like girls that you think wouldn't care, that wouldn't be feminine, let's say, in that area. They'd be a little bit more free thinking. And I mean, I've definitely heard women say that they feel like I want to pay on the first date, so I'm kind of like contributing to the getting to know you process. You know what I mean? Like, we're investing in our own possible future happiness. I don't mind paying. Like, then I also feel like I don't owe you anything. And honestly, that is as much as we were joking the other day with me and Andy Brayoff, I do offer to pay because I don't want to think because you spent dollars that's in any way buying your way into my vagina. That's just not going to do it. No.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Even
on
if
both sides of the coin. On both sides of the
Right.
coin.
Yeah.
To have that expectation going in that, okay, yeah, I paid this X amount of dollars. Now you owe me something in return. That's an asshole approach to dating, and he shouldn't even be out in the game. Like, he should be just taken to a field and shot or something. Like, I don't know. Why would you do that? But then on the other
You know what's
side,
really fun? No, go ahead. Please finish your thought.
no, what's funny?
No. Like taking the guy out into a field and shooting him. Here's something that I think men, like dudes, okay, this is something you've got to understand. You need to believe me. I just know what in the shit I'm talking about. You have to take, and I want to make clear, I am no beauty queen. I am a size 6. I'm a single mother of twins. I am not a model. You know what I mean? I don't think that I'm like an especially beautiful woman. Okay, so I have no illusion about my appearance. If you are not a fucking 8 to 10 set on the sexy scale, you can't be a jerk. You're not getting away with it. Sorry. If you think back to every female friend, sister, girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, whatever, down to even your mother, every girl you've ever known that had a boyfriend who was shitty to her, whether it was what manifested into a marriage, wherever it went, he was always absolutely beautiful in her eyes. I'm telling you, women forgive nasty behavior to hotter men, and then
Dudes do the same thing.
Right. Then lesser attractive men want to treat women the same way, and they can't get away with it. One of the most, I'm telling you, sweetest people I've ever met in my life, in my whole life. He's short, stout. I think he's not even 30. Balding, a little bit overweight, but his wife is God, 5'9". She does look like a model, and he worships the ground this woman walks on. I'm serious. They just had a baby together.
Yeah.
Like, beautiful marriage. But I'm saying, make no mistake, as much as he's a brilliant businessman, at the end of the day, he was a king that was able to snag a beautiful queen because of the way he treated her and treats her. I mean, they have a beautiful marriage.
But that goes back to what I was telling Louis in the previous episode, is there's ways to expand or add points to your attractive scale. If physically you're a 3, guy or girl, there are things that you can do as a person to bump you up to a 5, a 6, a 7, even an 8. Like, if like this guy, if he's physically a 3, if he dress well, that can just bump him to a 5 just because he knows how to dress well.
Yeah, but the thing is, he, at one point he'll get naked and all the points go away.
Because women don't care about that one moment. They really don't. Women care about the whole experience of the man. It's what you bring to the table.
I've heard, chicks just cutting it short, like when as soon as that happens, they're like, oh no, I changed my mind, gotta go.
That is a dickhead of a female.
I mean,
that is
why...
someone that you just don't even want, because most women aren't having sex for that reason. It's a whole mental thing with them for the most part. For the most part.
Yeah. I'm telling you, Lou.
So
like,
if you're bringing that stimulation to, what was that?
I said I'm telling you what I would. I'm telling Louis what I would tell what I would tell any man. Like, you have to bring, even if you're not, hot enough to get away with being a dick, you have to bring your A game. I'm saying seriously, especially beyond a certain age, women do have expectations of where a man should be, what he should be doing. I mean, women are not so, like, especially with Tinder. I mean, you got to realize something about women that I say this on a daily basis. There are no shortage in my line of work because of there being so few females. When I tell you, almost with the exception of the people I currently do business with, no shortage of men that have, like, literally thrown penis at me. And it gets to the point where it's like, okay, seriously, if I were gonna whore around, I would do as Kenan said, I would whore with a purpose. Mm-hmm. I would go try to F some Comedy Central executive. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm gonna degrade myself and be a good time, I'm gonna let it benefit me in a different area of business. You know what I mean? Like, women, go ahead.
I feel like you misconstrued my whoring with a purpose. That sounded more like gold digging.
Yeah.
There's
it's
a
dig for gold. I want to trip over the big fucking pile in the floor. I don't even want to have to look at it. Who wants to dig? Jesus.
I'm not getting my hands dirty. I am not no. If I gotta swallow, it's gonna be 14 carats.
It's gonna be with surface.
I just think, like I was saying, for either side, there's always something that you can do to bump yourself up. Yeah. If it's a woman who isn't physically attractive to the masses, whatever, there are things she can do. You better, like, if you're a six to me, you better become a Knicks fan, because then now you're a 7. Mm-hmm. If you're a Knicks fan and a Giants fan, you just bumped yourself up to an 8. Like, it's just, that's how it happens. I would hang out with the woman that is way more fun and all right and attractive than a woman who is boring and a 10. Right. It's just nature. That's how it's gonna go down.
I don't remember which stand-up set it was, but Chris Rock said, was it Bigger and Blacker, or was it I can't think of the other one, but he said, like, if two crackheads are going to be together, like, you're not going to find a crackhead and a doctor. And it's 100%. Men, like, will compromise on, okay, so she's a drop chubby, but she's a load of fun. I can take her home to my family. I can do stuff with her. I can have an intelligent conversation with her. I'm telling you, they overlook, and vice versa, the pretty. But there's got to be something heavier to lock you in when your personality is outweighing, when the draw towards your personality is outweighing the draw to you physically and sexually. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I feel like, for all intents and purposes, if I was to design Louis' perfect woman, the girl who buys him an Xbox, that's marriage material. And now a girl who plays Xbox, that's forever material. Like, that's what happens.
Probably whoever is lucky enough to eventually win Louis' heart, I'll pick out your ring. Don't worry. They'll have no say in the matter. I promise you I'll make it great.
I got some good taste when it comes to picking jewelry.
What's the expectation? What's your expectation for buying this ring, Louis? Is it this whole 3-month salary rule? Do you abide by that?
I'm picking whatever deal I could get from the Fingerhut catalog, and you best be happy.
I agree. Mm-hmm. I agree.
Really?
Yes,
I'm not a big, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't finger. My girl is getting African beads. I'm keeping it traditional.
If that's the case, my chick is getting rice and beans.
African beads.
I feel like we need to bring the dowry system back, because I don't like. There's one thing. There's one thing I'm not doing, and I'm not pay. I promise you, I will never, ever, ever pay for a wedding. If she doesn't have a father that's paying for this wedding, then we're going to the courthouse.
Oh, that's how the dowry thing works?
And again,
I didn't know that's how it worked. I thought the dowry was you had to pay for her.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, okay. Nice. So I like that. Okay, let's go with that, Kenan. Let's go with that, Kenan.
So not to get off track, though, you were saying about how you've seen all the time women say that they feel special when the guy pays. We actually to the streets of New York, and we found a story where the gentleman said something just like that. Can we play that now?
And then yes.
Here's a good story. This actually happened. This is like the third or fourth date with this beautiful, beautiful redhead.
Right.
And we were on the date. This like midnight after a show, drinks, everything paid for, reservations, all on me. I wanted to do it.
Right.
Midnight, we're at a wine bar. It was winter. And I said, hey, I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Right.
She's like, okay, I'll get the bill.
Right.
Cool. I'll come back. We can be ready to go. And I'm putting on my scarf. I see the bill. She didn't get the bill. She asked for it. And it's sitting there. And I swear to God, she said verbatim, oh, honey, do you think you paid the bill? Because you didn't yet. And slid it over to me.
What?
It was $20. And I'm like, okay. We get in a cab because God forbid she gets in the subway system.
Right.
And on the way, she's like, are you okay? And I'm like, you couldn't have just thrown down $20?
Right.
This is our third or fourth date. She says to me, and I want to vomit a little bit. She's like, well, when a man pays for me, it makes me feel more like a woman.
More like a woman.
Damn straight. See?
But at 3 or 4 dates in, I understand what this guy is talking about.
You know what makes me feel like more like a man? Fucking her giving up the asshole. That makes me feel mannish. Let's use that. Let's start using that logic. Take that. I feel more like a man with my dick in your mouth.
That's very sexist.
I'm so sorry.
That's very sexist. Yeah, but I do understand where this dude is coming from, where it's more of the act. It's not about the money. And make sure you listen that he said he's 3 or 4 dates in. So they've already established some type of relationship.
Yeah, they like each other, definitely.
Other. So if you like this person, he should have already been making you feel like a woman, right?
I think the fact that she didn't pay a 20. I mean, he took her. Now again, assuming everything he says is true, which I don't believe he would make something like that up. But we always have to put that disclaimer in there. We're only hearing one side. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Anyway, so I mean, he paid for a decent evening. I mean, she could have gotten a $20 check. Really, she could have.
That whole dynamic, I feel like that whole relationship changes if she pays that $20 check. If she pays that,
I think
we don't know where they're at.
Appreciation. Men feel appreciated. Even if they've got oodles and noodles of money, seriously, if you pick up, like, you getting that Starbucks tab, like, you have no idea. They think it's cute. And that honestly does make them feel like a little bit more special. Like,
this whole money thing, this whole money test and ego test for women, you gotta learn to be attracted or feel special based on something else. I was at a house party a couple of years back, and I happened to be the oldest person in this house party. I have a baby face, so I get invited to like college parties all the time. It's a weird thing. So I'm at this house party, right? And somehow the topics just got to love and relationships, like exactly what we're doing. And it's just house parties full of women. I'm kind of dominating the conversation because when you get into party situations, men that agree with you, they shut up thinking that if they be quiet, they'll silence their way into some pussy instead of saying what needs to be said. So I'm the only male talking to these group of women at this house party. And the topic was about money. And we all know that's a cliche standard, right? It's a cliche. Everyone has it. Women want a man with money. Men kind of want to have money to get women. That's what we think is necessary. And I was telling these ladies that the problem with that is when you find a man with money, he doesn't care about the money. So what that in turns is showing lack of care for you, because I'm not gonna like toot my own horn, but I've been in some financial situations where I just had money to blow. Like I've earned that lifestyle. I've earned that lifestyle where a couple hundred, it just doesn't matter. It'll go to a $60 game. I'll take a trip somewhere. Like it doesn't matter where it goes. It's just going. I don't have kids. I don't have responsibilities. So I don't care
You're enjoying your life. Exactly.
Right. So when I find
that, you're not, feeding any addictions. You're, yeah, sure.
I have disposable income. That the bottom line is this disposable income. And when I find a woman who really is only in it for the money, kind of like what this guy was trying to say, he just wants to be in a relationship, and whatever he can carry, he'll lift on his own. But he wants to also know that you're in it. So I'm telling them, like, if a dude has money, you're just as disposable as that money. It 100%. It doesn't change your relationship.
And one thing though, I really think that we should touch on, and I think we've touched on it maybe briefly in the past, and I don't want to stay too long into this, but I just lost my thought. Men with disposable income, they have choices. That's right, because they have more money, they can do more things, they can can, they can provide for you a better type of life. And they don't want women who are walking in the door empty-handed. And that's something that for some reason girls never want to hear. They never want to hear that, why is my awesome not enough? Because at the end of the day, over time, he's going to be paying for this. He wants to know what you can bring to the table. And women don't, for some, you know what I mean? Like, I
want you to clarify when you said empty-handed. Do you mean also money?
Yes.
Okay.
I think
so
that
men. Okay. If you mean also money, I want to stop you there and just give you a scenario that I was in. Right. So the guy who makes money, like I said, if he can lift it himself, he's not going to ask you for help. It's the same. It's just how men do. Same thing. If we can carry all of the grocery bags into the house, we're not going to say, here, take this one. We just never do that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But when it comes financially, same thing. If we have it financially, we don't. I was in a situation. I remember I met two different types of women. And when you say empty-handed, I don't want you to mean financially. You can bring other things to the table. So I'm in this two situations. Two beautiful women on two sides of the scale. Now, again, I told you I make enough money to have disposable income with IT and everything. I found a career match female, career-wise. She was a lawyer. So we went to like a house in the Hamptons for a month in the summer. Like it was that type of style. But we always was working too. So it's kind of like a quick get together. There's always different dynamics in the relationship. But I met her, right? And that was cool. Then there was another girl who kind of goes back to what you were saying earlier. This one I was excited for. This one was like, I just was infatuated with her very early on.
Right.
But she didn't make money, definitely not to the level of the lawyer, right?
Right.
What she did do, for some reason, when I was in her presence, she just made me very calm, relaxed. We had fun, conversations just was endless. And while the conversations were good and very educational and kind of like stimulating with the lawyer, the conversations with her were just more nurturing. That was her hand. Her hand wasn't empty. She just had this that was one of the first women that I was like, damn, I could have kids with. Like, how I feel about
That's
kids.
Right.
Her, it's like, yo, she is a perfect mom. We can get this. Like, I knew she would be able to handle that. So I was stuck. When I was really in it, I was like, okay, I need to pick one. I was in this phase where I was really looking to get married. Like, that's what I was thinking of doing. I was like 28. Like, all right, I wanted to be married around 30. One of these could be it. So I'm like, do I go with the power couple with the lawyer, or do I go with this one who just made me feel like a different type man? And I went with her. So it's not always the money that you bring to the table.
No,
so that's why I wanted. So let's jump back to Louis and let's just talk about, all right, while we're dating, we had talked about Andy, who had that date that didn't pay.
Andrew.
And he was like 3 or 4 dates in.
Yeah.
Do you think he had sex with this girl already, or?
I would hope so. Honestly, I mean, there's this rule that I and if some of you, I'm just gonna throw this name. There's this radio show host called his name is Tom Leykis, and he has set rules, and one of those rules are after 3 dates, if you haven't slept with this woman, cut it off.
So it's a radio show host that created that rule.
Yeah.
There's another radio show host that created a rule. I know Steve Harvey has like a 90-day rule for women. So how does that contrast?
Well, okay, here's the thing.
You should give it up after 90 days.
Yeah, here's the analogy that Steve Harvey did, and I'm gonna give my opinion. Steve Harvey's like, okay, when I used to work for Chrysler in Detroit, you didn't get your benefits until you were on the job for 3 months. Yeah, Steve, dummy, bald-headed, faggot. You still get paid every 2 weeks. Like
okay, is it pussy payments? Is that what you're trying to equate it to?
I'm just saying you're still getting you're putting in work and you're still getting paid. Like, it's like, I understand putting in work. I mean, and there is a difference. There's a difference to either you're dating to date or you're dating for love.
Right.
So.
Right. And I would have to say that even with that job,
love and play.
no one uses those benefits in the first 30 days anyway. No one's got the doctor and the dentist lined up.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
And you're definitely not using your life insurance. So it is what it is.
I mean, you're still collecting a check every 2 weeks. Like when you're dating a chick and you're waiting 90 days, you're pretty much you're going out at a loss. It's like you're spending your time, you're spending your money.
I don't understand
and
other
hold
than
on.
religious reasons.
Yeah, I mean,
why someone would do that.
I'm just saying,
So,
it's not
which
equal.
one do you lean towards, the 3-date guy rule, or do you lean towards Steve Harvey's 90-day female rule?
I guess I would fall somewhere, I don't know, probably closer to the 3-date rule. I look at it like this. Sex is really important. I mean, sexuality, you have to get each other off. Like, I say to guys all the time, like, she used to love to suck your cock. Like, that's it. I'm serious. Like, when you're looking for it, like, you guys have to have heat and sparks, and, like, I don't, like, unless there is, a religion-based reason, or, again, everyone has their own level of morality. I mean, sex really important. It's like when sex kind of can turn into a little bit of making love, and like the making love kind of falls into, falling in love a little bit. Like, I don't believe you can really be in love with someone like that you're not sexually intimate with. I don't believe it. And I'm coming from like a very religious background. Like, we are, you know what I mean? I'm basically an Orthodox Jew to some degree. So I'm saying, like, give me a break. Like, if even I can look past religion and say, you know what, this might be really important because it's a big reason people get divorced, not satisfying one another sexually. You want to work that stuff out. I mean, I would not. I don't know. I really don't know.
I'm kind of close to. I feel like I'm kind of close to you. First of all, I hate rules. I just think rules are there to be broken. Like, you just got to do it. So whenever I'm in that predicament where either a female is telling me that she has this 90-day rule that she abides by, or even I just don't want to have sex on the first date because of what you may think. I hate either one of it. I hate being held to a previous standard. That's what I love, coming in and shattering whatever you thought previously before meeting me. Like, I'm going to change your world when you meet me. Like, that's my approach to dating. That's how I feel.
Yeah. If I could jump,
when a woman says, all right, I wanted to do something, but because it was the first date, I don't want to do it. I'm like, all right, well, I feel like you're not living your life for what's in front of you, and you're having all these rules and regulations, putting all these limitations on our relationship because of whatever happened in the past.
Yeah.
Right? So I'll let that be. We're not condoning any type of rape culture, but I just leave. Like, that'll be the end of it. Like, if we're moving somewhere and then she stops because of a rule, I'll just bounce and it'll just never happen again. She really have to work to get me back to that point.
Really?
Yeah.
Really does.
So
There's not. I don't.
If you guys are hot and heavy, you're making out, woo, everything, yay, hands are all over the place. So you're obviously natural evolution, like, you think you're gonna get laid, and she's like, oh, I'm a huge Christian. You're leaving?
I'll be like, yep, all right. If you're a Christian,
I feel like God bless, peace them out.
So I respect your decision, and
right.
I
feel
agree.
like
like if someone were a virgin, that would gross me out. I'd be like, no way, no.
Virgin, I don't have a problem with that because
dude. Unless there's love there, no.
That's not a previous hindrance. She's not saying I don't want to do it with you. She's saying I'm protecting this for whatever reason, like you said, like a religious thing. And then I'll say again,
as much as I respect it, that's not for me. Right.
I'll say I'll respect that, and that doesn't mean the relationship has to stop. That just means I'll probably get it from somewhere else, and we can see where this goes. Like, everything is up in the air.
Yeah, I mean, and this is, if I could make a quick point. I mean, the reason why I personally have like a 3-date rule is because I've been taken advantage a lot. It's like I've actually been told, which is again a subject from which is why I don't date single mothers as well. But I've been told that the only reason why I went out with you is because I didn't have money for entertainment.
But that's what you don't have to have a 3-date rule because you're expecting sex. You still need to, like,
if you're gonna take advantage of me, it's like I'm not trying to take advantage of a girl for sex. It's like fine, but if I feel like start feeling like, okay, I'm being taken advantage of, this ain't going nowhere. I'm just paying, to entertain this chick, and like I could be spending my money on a woman that's gonna take me seriously, and but that's just a mentality that's around there. It's like, oh well, we gotta get these dudes before they get us, and it's a badge of honor to like play a dude for his
I don't
dub.
think if you met a girl that was decent and actually worth a damn, I don't think you'd have these problems.
Yeah, but that, you know,
these are aspects of women, and I'm not denouncing you, because I completely agree, Lou, that there's women out there that exist that are into dating only for what they can get out of it.
In fact, there was this news magazine that interviewed a woman that she was on OkCupid and Plenty of Fish, and just to date guys to wine and dine her, and she was like saving $9,000 a year because guys were taking her out to dinner. And it was Yael. Yael, it was you. It was you. No, but she actually had a spreadsheet of like, okay, I'll go out with this guy again, or because he got me wine, or I'm not gonna go out with this guy again because he made me pay half, and that's really unattractive.
See, I have a problem with. Go ahead.
Maybe I can find the clip. That'll be fantastic.
If you can find it while I talk, that'll be beautiful.
Yes, dear.
So I don't really. Reason why these sound so shocking to me is because I feel like I have a completely different lens when it comes to dating, and I really don't spend money on dates, on the early dating. I don't really lose out that much. Money comes in when you're like a girlfriend. That's how, how women have, why would the guy buy the milk if he can have the cow for free, or all those type of terms for marriage. Yeah. The same thing. You don't really get Kenan boyfriend experience until I am your boyfriend. While we're just dating, I treat you like a complete maybe. You're just on this ride. It goes up, it goes down. But you're not expecting, you're not getting the full experience.
She's not getting the full package. No way.
I give hints. I let you know that I could do this, but you gotta earn it. It all starts from, like I said at the top. You don't even get my real phone number until we're a few dates in. You got the Google Voice number. You don't got the AT&T number.
Do I have your real number?
See, let's not put that out in the open right now.
Man,
oh my god. Yeah. Oh my god. I have the Google Voice number. I know it, and I'm not. Oh my god. And I've never seen this man naked. Shit. I don't even have.
Actually, I've seen Kenan naked. His number is 867-5309. Yeah, I found the clip. This was from ABC News. Woman dates for free dinner on Match.com.
25-year-old Jessica Sporty launched an online search for love. But instead of love, she wound up with something much different. Free dinner, and lots of them.
You were able to save something like $1,200 a month. Yeah. Is that true?
I'm sure you could really
I'm Yael Meisel.
calculate that it was approximately that much money, but I never went into Match.com for money.
She chose men with good jobs and never expected to split the bill. Like this
Yael Meisel.
awkward first date scene in the movie Kissing Jessica Stein.
We split the salad, but I think, as I recall, you ate a little bit more. That leaves your portion at $42.73 and mine at $18.14.
Now that's more Yael Meisel, seriously.
I would say...
Go ahead.
That doesn't make more sense. I'd be like, no, you had about 70% of the salad.
Yeah.
I think of the $10, you should really be throwing down a bare minimum of $6.50.
An average of 4 to 5.
Oops, sorry. Here, let me.
Times a week.
So you were hitting it pretty hard.
I was.
In less than a month and a half, she went on about 30 dates, and the savings started to add up.
New York is really expensive, and a lot of these experiences I wouldn't have been able to have if I hadn't, been on Match.com and gone through this. This was my own Sex in the City.
Oh my God! She hit all the New York hotspots, dinner at Magoo, and the ever-popular La Esquina. And not to mention an occasional $200 bottle of champagne, or sometimes even just a cheeseburger and milkshake, and it added up.
Did anyone ever ask you to split the bill on that first date?
No, nobody ever did. Had someone said it to me, I probably would have said, okay, no problem. In my head, I would have probably said, oh, that's not very traditional, and, I think that a man should really pay for the first date.
There were so many dates that Jessica says she used a spreadsheet system to keep track.
I really used these spreadsheets with my friends as a way for us to keep people straight.
About one guy, she notes, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be attracted. I'm going out with him anyway.
Punch in the
So
balls.
it wasn't like so-and-so's name and then you cross over and it's like spaghetti and meatballs.
I'm sure a lot of people would have been very interested in seeing number signs next to everybody's.
No.
So-and-so took me to a $500 dinner and so-and-so took me to such and such place. But
All right.
it really
I think
wasn't like
heard
that.
enough.
It was
This
just,
is utmost crazy. First of all, like I said, I know that there's definitely women out here that exist. And that is proven.
To me, that's
He
normal.
would have been the guy that got her the cheeseburger and the shake. That sound like I might have done that. But what kind of? I just don't even know what to say about this.
And she's not the only woman. She's not the only woman. There's a woman in Canada that did the same thing. That she started a blog. Her name is Erin Witherspoon, and she.
I have a question. I have a question to you. As you're gonna have to represent all women.
Listen, I'm not even trying to toot some horns. I've dated some decent-sized celebrities. I've dated some very wealthy men. I usually date wealthy men, but I have respect for their time, I have respect for their money, and I have respect for how they earn it. I mean, I think.
But you're not doing it to save money, like you're doing it to actually find love and a lifestyle. You're looking for love and a lifestyle. You're looking for love style.
Yeah,
that's love style.
Seriously, it's like if I love you, I will I would much rather make you a brisket or like a rack of lamb. I'm serious. I just think that's so gross. I think that's gross. And she's a spinster, and I promise you, she's beautiful and she's hot and she's sexy and she fucks everyone and she's alone. I swear to God, I bet you that's her reality.
But my thing is, why do
actually in the end of that story
always bring up tradition, right? It's always tradition. When the tradition benefits, then it's let's hold on to tradition.
Yeah.
But when the tradition is cook, barefoot, pregnant, now we got to change this tradition. What is with that?
Oh, we're gonna get into a deeper thing about, which is in my wheelhouse, about why I'm anti-feminist.
I think we touched on this a little bit in the last topic, in the last episode. There's an evolution of dating. It starts back from, as far back as we can remember, I'm saying, the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and so on, how it changed slowly in the dynamic between men and women. In 1946, you just didn't see very many female doctors. You just didn't. You saw nurses, you saw typists, with the evolution of change, things have, the dynamic between men and women really has changed. But again, there really is, why do people still get married? Why do people still have children? There's still that yearn for the family element.
Okay, we touched on dating, we touched on the expectations when you're meeting a person. How about the expectations in now relationships? You're in a committed relationship, maybe not married at this point, but, you've been together for a year or so. Do gender roles still exist?
Well, okay. That's what I like to. That's when I love. One of my favorite songs is by John Legend. Ordinary People, and he says a line that's so beautiful. You're right in the thick of love. Okay. Now, again, in my, I guess, matchmaking situation, I deal with marriage-minded people. Okay, I'm dealing with people who want to have a baby, soon, not in a million years. There's a reason you have to bear in mind that people specifically come to me, or people like the Patty from the Millionaire Matchmaker. Obviously, she deals with a completely different crowd of people than I do, but I'm saying there's a reason. Lucario, for example, he's a dating coach that we're having on the show, I think on the 23rd.
Yep.
I mean, there's a reason that people like us, honest to God, Lucario almost died on the floor when I told him that I don't even charge a fee until an engagement is made. Because he's like, what do you mean? You don't get paid for your time? And I was like, well, the fee is $5,000. And he's like, wow. And he's never made a match in his life. And in a lot of ways, he and I do the same job. Similarly, the only difference is I set you up and, give you more from a woman's perspective. But
right. But back to yours, because we could talk about Lucario when he's on the show.
Yeah.
Differences.
No, that's very true. Okay, when you're in it to win it, you're in it to find the one, the person you're going to have a baby with. You're going to spend money, earn money, make money, go through life struggles, ups and downs, crisis. We never know what the universe is going to throw at us later on in life. Please, it's only good. But I don't believe if you're marriage-minded, family-oriented, and ready to exit that stage of life, you should date anybody beyond 365. That is my
Fuck you.
Wait,
the hell out of me, but neither one of you are necessarily looking to have a wife and a family tomorrow. Okay, well, I deal with people who do. So,
you can't.
In a regular dating situation, I'm saying, when you have women that are 36, 37, they've made their money, they've traveled the world, they really want to have a family, and they want to do it before 40. These people know themselves. Do you know what I'm saying? They have self-awareness.
They know themselves, but do you truly know the other person in only a year?
It depends on what you're looking for.
No, I can still be a very marriage-minded man, and I'm telling you, I've looked for it. I know how that works. You can't know a person in and out. You can't in a year. You can't know a person.
In fact, there was
to that extent forever. That's why divorce rates are so high, because we're getting married after 2 years of dating.
Okay, wait a second though. I can't even tell you how many women have come to me who are very successful, and I'll even be honest with you. There are times I fear that this will be my reality. I'm very hard to match. I'm a personality type. I'm children, a career, many different extracurriculars. I'm saying I have my fingers in lots of pies. Like, I'm a busy lady. I mean, it's you got to know what you're looking for. And like, there are times where women like myself catch their breath at 35 and they take a look around them. And now, thank God, I have children. So I was married. I did make that step. I did, marry a person that I thought was going to be.
How long did you date?
5 months.
That's my point is not to say that's why the demise. I have a cousin that got married at 6 months. I understand, but what I'm saying is there is no possible way for you to truly know that partner in a year or even 2 years. In fact, there's just no possible way.
I actually read a story. Sorry.
No, I just want to bring up how many women have said to me, and men, by the way, this is not just coming from women, this is coming out the mouths of men too, have said to me, I was in a relationship for X amount of years, and I feel like I lost so much time trying to figure out if this was the right person for me, while all my friends were having children, while everyone else was doing this and buying houses. I was still lag-assing with this dude or this girl, and now I'm 40 and alone, and I really want to have a family, and I know that I'm looking for this type of person that has this type of background. And usually, the Italians, the Puerto Ricans, the Jewish people, they want to stick with someone with similar tradition and similar background so they can have that family unit. They're ready for the family unit. These people are usually leaps and bounds ahead in where they want to be romantically.
But that's still, I'm going to say this and then we're going to get Louis in. That still doesn't, people can be ready. I'm not saying that you're not ready for marriage. What I'm saying is it is impossible, completely impossible for you to truly know that other person for the mode of forever. Because that's how I look at marriage. I look at marriage as a forever step. This is the person that I'm going to live the rest of my life with. And if I'm 31 and meet a woman right now at 32, she's not going to know how I truly am when certain situations come up. When I didn't get that gig, maybe I had a good year. Maybe she met me in this good year and I was getting all those auditions that I go on and I got and I got this stuff. And then the second year, I don't get all the auditions. She doesn't see the down Kenan. She might not be able to handle that. That's what I'm saying. You can't really know. Louis, what about the 365 days? I'm just stunned.
Yeah, I mean, that is not enough to get to know each other. There were some studies that were made that usually the longer you wait, the more successful your marriage is going to last. They say a minimum of 4 years. Minimum.
That's ridiculous. I would never.
That makes sense. And to your point of wanting to get watching all your friends have kids and buy houses and stuff like that. That doesn't mean.
No, I'm saying that
doesn't mean that.
Go ahead.
It doesn't mean that they were messing around and watching all these other friends do that. They just didn't find the one, or they could have been messing around, but then that's their fault. You can meet a woman or man that fits your bill, and getting married doesn't change the relationship except for tax purposes. It doesn't change anything else. You can still build whatever you wanted to build around you.
Tax is something. That's money. Why would you turn down if you know you're going to be together forever anyway? Why not?
That's what you don't.
Seriously.
At that point, you don't. A year in, you don't. I actually have a perfect algorithm because this is always a hot topic. I have a perfect algorithm that people should follow when to propose to your girl. And basically, it's, again, I told you, I don't do nothing by an expected rule book. So my algorithm is just like this. You take your attractive scale, you multiply it by her attractive scale, then you divide it by the city's population that you're in. You add your age and subtract her age, and whatever that comes up with, that's how many years you should wait till you propose. It's a simple algorithm that always, you got to know your ped mass, whatever you were taught. I'm not going to go into it that deep, but that's the algorithm.
Yeah, here's this from eHarmony. He states in his study that happily married couples dated for approximately 25 months before getting married. Unhappy couples who split in two groups. Couples who are unhappily married soon after they say I do and quickly divorce more often than married at or after 3 years. Oops, that just... Alright, whoops. Okay.
After 3 years.
Yeah.
People who dated for 3 years or longer.
Mhm.
That's common. That's common. You would not... let me tell you something.
3 years is not 365 days. That's more along the line that I'm saying. So, like, for instance...
Yeah, 25 months is not a ridiculous amount of time to have a courtship, have an engagement, and plan a wedding. That's not an outlandish amount of time. If you date for 2 months and then spend the other 23 planning a wedding, you're flipping ridiculous. But I'm saying a year, 14-month courtship, shouldn't you at least have a feeling in your heart about this person?
Yes, you should have a feeling that you... Yes, I agree. That I agree. A feeling that this could be something to grow from. Yes.
No, I want to bring up a very valid point that people don't think about until they're coming to me. I'm serious. When your girlfriend that you've dated for 6 months or 3 months, boom, is magically pregnant, you're freaking the shit out. After you've been together, even if you're freaking out, even if you love this person, there's a part of you freaking the shit out. Like, now it's like, oh God, shit. Now we're in a situation and we have feelings for each other. So it would be like this to, you know what I mean? Like, but I don't really know if I want to start a family with you. Like, that's a situation where people are panicking. Especially
but that's the same
when
thing, like you were saying before. Why are you having sex with strangers? See, I really don't even sleep with women anymore. Now, I've matured out of this. That I don't feel I would do a family with. Like, that's how you gotta grow into. And I would assume the people that you're speaking of that are ready for this are taking that kind of approach where this insinuating circumstance of a random baby, it just, you gotta be more adult than that. You gotta be more...
I'm saying no. Finishing my thought. When it's in the 3 to 6 months to 9 months, even to a year, it can be a crisis. When it's beyond that point, you've been with them a year, you've met their family, you've met their friends, and then whoops, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've noticed that when you know what I mean? It becomes it's a lesser scary life event when you've been together for some time. Listen, I'm not saying that a woman should walk in 365 days from the first date and demand now where in the F is my diamond? No, but like after a year of dating, you should just at least have an idea where you see this going. Like, let me ask you straight up. You're dating someone, she's awesome, she's fun, she's cute, you like her. Excuse me. After 2 months of dating, I apologize, I'm coming down with a cold. After 2 months of dating, you just feel in your heart, you feel in your soul, and you feel in your gut, you just know she's not it. But she's fun, she likes the Giants, she likes the other ones and the basketball players and ESPN and Sports Center and, I don't know. She doesn't want to spend $20 on a date too, and she picks up half the tab, but you frickin' just know in your heart this is not the woman and you can't, you know what I mean? It's one of those situations like, God, logically I should love you. You're so awesome. And I just don't. Well, are you dumping her or are you with you?
She gets dumped. She gets dumped.
So you are decent then. You are a gentleman. How many guys?
I don't believe in wasting other time. Like, that's time that she could be spent truly finding the person for her.
Okay, guys, I've had people tell me, men in their 30s even, that they had felt in the first 3 to 6, 9 months of the relationship in their heart that this really probably isn't the one. But because of these redeeming qualities about her, they held on and persevered. And then that 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, year and a half, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, holding on, hoping they would fall in love. I can't tell you how many dudes don't also, just like women, don't have the decency to walk away when they feel it and they know that it's wrong.
Yeah, I mean I think that's a very big problem because you are wasting other.
Go ahead.
I'm actually in a situation right now with a girl that I'm dating, who we met recently, and things were going off really well, right? I told you I'm in girlfriend seasons, so I'm dating a lot right now, right? So everything was going really well. Everything's going really well, and she kind of finds out that she has to move to LA. Now, what she chooses to do is completely avoid telling for weeks. She just avoided whatever progress that we were doing and whatever that relationship. She kind of just ceased it. The text messaging stopped. All of the stuff stopped while she is thinking about either staying or going, right? So when she finally tells me, I'm like, well, of course, you're not thinking about me to stay, right? We haven't been together long enough for me to be that big in that decision point.
Right.
Correct. So why would you just stop why would you just stop with whatever we were doing when we could have just been spending the time now having fun, and then maybe when it crosses, we've built something that we can say we have that conversation when the time comes next month or whatever, whenever she's going to LA, to say, all right, well, maybe we can do this. I'm a comic. Comedy happens in two places. It happens in New York City and LA. And LA. Right. So it's not like she's moving to Houston.
Moving to Pittsburgh. Right, exactly.
I completely believe there's a potential for long distance relationships as long as there's a direct flight. If it's a direct flight, no, not if it makes sense. If it's a direct flight, if there's a layover, that relationship is done. Like that's done.
Damn.
It must be a direct flight domestically.
Right. I have a girlfriend who's a pediatrician who's single, and she was dating a guy in Pittsburgh actually for a long time. And I said, would you be upset about leaving New York? And she's like, no, I could be a pediatrician anywhere. I don't. I have a universal career. I can do it anywhere. I can live in any country. I'm not tied down here. Okay, so that's a great situation. If you're like, let's say me, there's lots of I'm planted here. I live in New York. You'd have to be offering something huge to get me out of Brooklyn. Seriously, I am so planted here. It's ridiculous.
So right. So you're planted, and that's fine. We should find people that are in. That's why my algorithm takes into consideration the city population, because here in New York City, there's 8.4 million people. But if you are in somewhere like some outskirt town of Pittsburgh where there's only 200,000 people, your algorithm, your number is going to change when you need to lock this girl down because she's going to be gone.
Yeah.
That's why the algorithm is perfect, because it takes account to every scenario. Like for instance, again, just so everybody gets it, it's your attractive scale times her attractive scale divided by the city population plus her age plus your age minus her age. So for me, I'm a 7, right? I'll be honest.
I would say you're about an 8 pushing a 9.
I again will be flattered. I think that I don't have everything women want, but I'm close. So I feel like I'm a solid 7.
Notice how I'm not asking for my race. So
I'm doing my example. I'm an 8 on paid at bet, right? So we take that, and let's say we'll take one of the women I'm dating. She's a 9, right?
Okay.
So that becomes a 63.
He likes them pretty, by the way. He's got excellent taste in women. You do. You like them pretty.
High taste. They're all that. I will agree. I'm shallow.
I like my women affordable.
These women are straight up. They're gorgeous. It's like, oh my god, she is so pretty. It's stupid. Yeah.
I have that's my one fault. I will admit.
No, the fault. You succeed at it, so it's awesome. Yay.
So that gives us a 63. We divide that by the 8.4 million in New York City, because that 8.4 million shows that you do have other options.
You do.
That number comes up, right? Then I'm 31, so I add the 31. She's 27. I subtract that. That leaves us with 4.00 something 7. So basically, I would have to propose to her in 4 years and 75 days. That's a legitimate good. And then the flip side of the algorithm is women can do it too. You do the same algorithm, and then at that point, that's when you have the conversation of, oh, you get a shit or get off the pot, blah blah blah. Where is this going? That's when you have that where's this going conversation. Because women,
years. You have a where is this going station for effing years. Seriously?
No, not the where this is going, but the all right. This either is marriage or I'm moving on. Like that's when you should women make ultimatums, and they do it way too soon. I've had women tell me, almost like you said, a year and a half in.
I want to know where we're going. That's all.
We can know where we're going, but you can't pressure me to marriage.
Exactly.
After knowing you for the
you know
pressure.
What? Hold on one second. My situation is, and I think also with single parents, is also very different. Now, I look at it like this. Your private life, in my opinion, being a single mother myself, it's like, thank God I live in childcare. My children go to an excellent school. I feel very blessed in that department. There's got to be a dynamic that's healthy to expose children. And I I mean, 4 years, in my opinion, of like my mom's boyfriend, like at that point, what the hell are you? So my kids are 3 now. So what? If let's pretend the right one falls out of the sky tomorrow and we get married in 5 years, my children are 8 years old before a stepfather is introduced into their lives.
No, but see, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I gave the algorithm always changes per the person. You missed that. That's why I'm telling. There is never a set rule in my life. There's no set rule. If you were to do the algorithm for you, let's just back up. I'm 31 and you're 30, right?
Okay.
That now makes it 2 years. It would be 2 years because you're an older woman.
Oh, right.
Then the 27-year-old.
As Dr. Joe pointed out earlier this evening, I am not a spring chicken. I am not a young lady by any stretch of the imagination.
So that's why the algorithm takes account for your age and your biological clocks. It does it. It does it for you. It does the work for you so that you're not wasting your time. You already have kids, so it's not specific. The biological clock might not be for you. But again, like you said, taking into account your kids, you still have enough time for me for the person to truly get to know your children, to see that this person could truly be a good dad. You know, you want to take that extra time. You don't want to just have some guy automatically become a father, especially if he doesn't have kids.
Totally. Listen, I am a big weirdo when it comes to, honest to God, if you express interest in me, my first thought is, bing, you're a pedophile. I watch the registry like the old man on the corner watches the neighborhood. I'm such a freak. I research you like you don't even know. I have access to the most sophisticated real estate software. I can find out your grandmother's email address.
I feel like I need to stop you right here because we're definitely gonna have a single mother's topic show.
Hell yeah!
That's
and we should have a talk about how much should you stalk before getting into a relationship, because you have access to information that other people don't, and I feel like you have an unfair advantage. Louis, any closing remarks?
Jesus Christ. I'm still on. You gotta wait. You gotta know what you're getting into, because a person doesn't reveal themselves fully in a year. You're still in that honeymoon stage.
But again, there's a difference between dating for you can't have, when you have 2 children, in my situation, you can't have a 5-year boyfriend. That's not healthy for anyone.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, the subject for another discussion. I'm personally against dating single mothers because of bad experiences I've had.
Let's leave that, just because I know both of y'all gonna go in on that. Let's leave, because those are 2 topics for another show. So just wrapping up, basically, Louis, you're against the rushing into marriage.
Yeah, because I mean, especially
but what about the other stuff? Just the beginning of dating. Just recap the whole your thoughts on everything.
It just all comes down to there needs to be some sort of honesty. Like, I am all for a chick saying ahead of time, okay, I don't sleep with a guy on the first date, but you know, she should also know, okay, well then I shouldn't expect this, that, and the other thing right off the bat, because I'm not, I'm not putting out stuff on I'm holding stuff back.
Right.
So, and then maybe Yael, any closing thoughts on the whole what we talked about today?
The closing thoughts on expectations is, I think there needs to be something verbally in person. Stop communicating via your damn telephones. That's not how you build relationships and not how you get to know somebody. At some point, you need to have, I would say within, what do we think, 3 months? 3 months there, you need to have an idea. Are you his girlfriend? Is it headed in that direction? Is she your girlfriend? You need to have almost like a conversation of what your intentions are needs to be in the birth of a relationship. And women don't like to listen to what men have to say. They hang on for the wrong reasons. That we've explored and we'll talk about, I'm sure, a million times over. But I mean, in closing, there's got to be really laid out, almost like in the beginning, whether it's a dating profile. I don't care what Louis says in regard to Tinder. It's not being used properly. Tinder is not Grindr. I'm sorry. If for some of you it works, if some of you it doesn't, whatever. You need to make what you're looking for needs to be on the table. If your dating profile talks more about your love for your flippin' cat than it does for who you are as a human being, you have a bad dating profile. No one knows who the hell you are and what the hell you want. So you need to make that so clear going into a situation with someone. That's kind of like where I'm going to leave off.
Okay, and I think I'll piggyback that, not just with the dating profiles, but just always be honest. Set your expectations up front. That's exactly my philosophy. You know what you're getting when you meet me. There'll never be a change of course because I set my expectations and I never compromise my standards. You set your match, you never compromise your standards, and you never compromise your expectations either. Women, if you have an expectation of a man, he either needs to rise to the occasion or he's not the one. That's just how it goes.
Stop being afraid to move on. Stop being afraid to say not for me. No.
Exactly. So that's my closing is be honest with yourself, be honest with your partner, set your expectations, and don't compromise your standards. All right, guys. Anything to promote, Louis?
Next week, I'm doing my radio show every Wednesday at 10. I'm just making that a permanent schedule, so check me out at rantinglouisb.blogspot.com. Follow me at Twitter at LouisB1. Feel free and curse me out and tell me how much of a piece of shit I am. Thank you.
All right, yeah. What you got coming up?
What? Oh, okay. We have so much going on in the land of me. Okay. First of all, I am doing a free show on August 5th at 8 o'clock at SIPS, which is 14 Putnam Avenue, Putnam Avenue. You can check that out. Follow me on Facebook, Yael Meisels. Also, for those of you in the real estate market, please check out my exclusive rentals. And also, we're going to be taking on listings and exclusives for residential sales soon. Check me out if you want to follow the course of dating with me. Please check out my Instagram. It is full of screenshots of conversations with these absolutely despicable men. It's flipping hilarious. And that's all I've got going on right now.
All right. Well, for me, everybody knows all my information is on the website, www.kenanweaver.com. I'll be hitting up my, let's call it an East Coast tour next week. I'm hitting Long Island. Check me out there. If you're there, I'll be in Connecticut at the Foxwoods Comics Casino stage, and then moving on up to Boston in early August. All right. All the information, www.kenanweaver. All right, guys. Keep loving. Keep playing.
Mahalo.
Amazing. Good night, guys.